Hi, Wycliffe Barrett, Xplane dedicated. Haven't made a video for a while, it's time for a review. We're going to have a look at the STMA Beaver. You can get it from xplane.org. See you right after the intro. This is the DHC-2 Beaver. This is for Xplane 11 and you can get it from xplane.org. Price $26.95 for the whole package. You get 3 aircraft, you get the floats, you get the skis and you get the wheels. Now one of the first things about this that I really didn't like, and for $26.95 I don't think I should have to do this, and that is you load the aircraft in, then you have to open it up in Airplane Maker and then save it. You do this so it creates the ACF files so that it'll run in Xplane 11. Now if it's updated for Xplane 11, I don't feel the need for me to have to then update the ACF file using Airplane Maker. Just a little bit of a niggle, and I think maybe that's something that STMA should sort out. Anyway, here are the instructions how to do that. They're in one of the documents which is inside the main aircraft folder, and it tells you exactly what you need to do. You need to open each variation in Airplane Maker, then save it, and do the same thing in Airfoil Maker and save it as well, and then everything is good to go. It has got a number of documents that come with it. They're all inside the main aircraft folder. This is the Pilot's Operation Handbook. Very comprehensive, but this was written for Xplane 10, and so there are some things that are in here that are not relevant for the Xplane 11 model. Once again, one of those small things that really needs sorting out. They should have rewritten the manual as far as I'm concerned, or at least rewritten those relevant parts. And one of them talks about the startup procedure, and it tells you to look for a STMA panel on the main cockpit panel. It's like a little metal button panel. There's a picture of it here somewhere in the manual, but it's not in the cockpit. So you're then wondering what it is that you're supposed to do to start up the aircraft. And in fact, the startup instructions in the manual are totally different to what you actually would do. So I found that slightly annoying because I had to really hunt around for that and look through all of this document. You can see it there. It's got the picture to the left, and it's got an arrow on it, and that is supposed to be pointing to this STMA panel. There it is there. And that's not on the main cockpit panel at all in this model. That's really quite annoying, but what they've done in the aircraft is something slightly different, which I'll explain as we get into the video and you can see that. But this operation manual is quite comprehensive, and it's actually a very easy aircraft to start. It's just that you need to kind of figure out what's going on a little bit as you first open it. Bit of a shame really, but there you go. Sometimes I think developers in their rush to update to Xplane 11 have cut corners and decided, well, we don't need to rewrite the manual, people will be able to figure it out, and I don't think that is the way to go, especially when they're charging $26.95, or in some cases some aircraft are a lot more expensive and you get the same quality. You see all that stuff there, that's all for Xplane 10. Nothing for Xplane 11 there, because as we know, Xplane 11 treats that particular area slightly differently. Anyway, enough of my moaning. Let's get into the aircraft and have a look. It comes with a large number of liveries, as you can see here as I flip through them, and also you have 3 variants. So you said you've got wheels, you've got skis, and you've got floats. Skis obviously for snow, ice, etc. What I've done here is I've moved it up into my favourite section, so there it is in the favourite section, and there it is in the standard menu section, highlighted in blue as always, and the 3 variants are skis, wheels, skis and floats. So let's get loaded up at Cardiff Airport and have a look, and straight away you notice the panel has got this kind of metal reflective element to it. It's really quite nice. It's not hugely complicated, but looks okay. Now, going to the external model, I kind of wasn't too happy about it. It's as if they've they've updated it to Xplane 11, but they haven't given it all the bells and whistles. So there's no reflective surfaces outside, or it doesn't appear to be any anyway. And it just seems a little bit kind of, how can I say it? Almost Xplane 9-ish to Xplane 10-ish. Although it's a fair representation of the aircraft, you know, with that box fuselage, it just really doesn't cut it. Other than this bit here, where you've got this metallic finishing. Even so, within the cockpit itself, there are some really bad graphics, in so much as they become very blurred as you get up close. And even in the external model, if you zoom in into particular areas of the aircraft, it doesn't stand up to that close inspection that I like to give it. And also, if you look there, you see the wheels, they're all sunk in the ground. Now, this aircraft comes with chocks, and when you have the chocks on, the aircraft sinks into the ground. I don't know what that's about. See, watch this now. Zoom in close, and you see all those blurry lines. Not very good at all. So, I think the paint job needs updating for 2017 for sure, because it just doesn't really cut it as far as I'm concerned. A nice little aircraft. It does the job. It does exactly what it says in the tin. It's a general aviation de Havilland 2 aircraft known as the Beaver. So I think it's about time we get inside the cockpit, try and start it up, and see what we can see, so to speak. So, oh yes, I forgot. On the left hand side here is a menu. So you put your mouse over on the left, and this menu pops out with a number of different things on. Now this is known as the STMA Hangar Ops, and one of the good things about it is that it'll do auto updates. So if there's an update for the aircraft, it actually, as soon as you put your mouse over to the left hand side of the screen and that pops up, if there's an update for it, it'll just do it. It'll update it automatically for you, and that is quite neat. I don't know why you'd have those clocks appearing like that as the engine monitoring, so revs and heat, I believe, and why you'd have them popping up like that. For what purpose, I have no idea. You can open your pilot door there on the left hand side, and on the right hand side the cockpit door, and you can also open passenger doors if you have an external view. I've opened the passenger door there, but unfortunately because of my angle you can't see it quite so well. And here I think I take the chocks off and you see the aircraft suddenly pop up in the air. There's also a tug, and you can pull the tug forward, you can turn it left and turn it right, and reverse it and push back in. So that's quite a nice little neat feature there that's built into this model. I mean, it kind of looks nice, everything's there, but I wish it was just a little bit better on the external modelling. Get rid of the tug, and yeah, I think maybe we should start the engine up and see if we can get it up into the sky and see what it's like for flying. So the start-up procedure is really quite easy, although you do need to find it in the manual. So obviously you need to sort out a couple of things. So you need to turn the fuel to the central tanks, which is the big red knob to the left. Then you turn on main, which turns on everything, turns on the avionics and everything, put up the mixture, and then these three keys here, in the manual it tells you to lift all three at the same time by using that bar, but you can't. You click on the bar and the right hand switch goes up, which is ignition, and the engine fires up. So rather bewildering that the manual tells you to do one thing but you actually do something else. It was one of the things I was talking about earlier when I said that it didn't do everything as anticipated. But the engine sounds nice. I've got XP Realistic on as well, so that actually adds to the immersion, as they say. But yeah, it's all very good. It's quite nice. It does its job. Turning on the lights and beacon and everything else. Of course, you've got an avionics stack there, radio, and the GMS 430 for Xplane, so therefore you can export a flight plan or create your own flight plan in that. But as a general aviation aircraft, the type of thing that I like to fly for GA is I just kind of fly around looking out the window. So we get out here onto the runway, onto the flight line, and take off and do a quick circuit of Cardiff Airport. You do need a bit of right-hand rudder because of the left-hand torque of the engine as you roll down the runway, and if there's wind as well, it's really quite lively. This aircraft is lively in the wind. I'm going to keep quiet just for a few moments as we take off, and we can have some music from David Cutter. Here we go then, just landed into Cardiff runway 30 after that short circuit. So it's a really nice aircraft. I like the way it handles, a little bit of breeze and it makes it a bit lively. You really have to struggle with it. And also on landing, don't forget it's a tail dragger, so that means you have to land on the main gear and let the tail wheel gently go down to the runway. Not forgetting, if you don't, of course, and you stamp on the brakes, then you're really going to find yourself in trouble sticking your propeller into the tarmac. Here's another approach. I did this one at dusk, just as the sun was setting at Cardiff. A little bit hazy, but very nice indeed. I really enjoyed this landing and this flight into Cardiff Airport runway 30. Like I say, you can get this aircraft for $26.95 from Xplane.org. I hope you've enjoyed the review. I thought it was really good. I kind of like the aircraft, and if you can afford it, I suggest you buy it. As always, my name's Wycliffe Barrett. This is Xplane Dedicated, and we'll see you all again soon. Take care. Cheerio.